Hi, Jim. All right, I'm going to do your hour of spiritual healing now. So, you've got a couple things going on here that I'm going to focus on. One of them is called burning tongue syndrome. So, you say your tongue and throat are burning constantly. You also have tinnitus or ringing in the ears. So, I'm just going to relax here and we'll see what we can discover, all right? You mentioned too that you've been on a spiritual pathway for years now. So I'll see if anything additional comes up related to that. I'm just going to relax and get started. Okay. It's just a slow motion right now. There's definitely someone here that just touched me here on my face. I'm trying to look at them, but they're sort of hard to make out right now. Some sort of shadow is the only way I can describe it with a hand. There's something more peaceful I'm feeling. There's something about green grass blades right now. There's something about the delicate little water droplets that develop on them at the right time of the morning. There's something about moisture in the air and dewdrops and that sensation of cool moisture in the morning is really what it feels like. It's refreshing. It makes me thirsty. Makes me feel like drinking it a lot. I feel like I just feel like my mouth is so dry. It's as if it's like some crazy scenario, like I've been in the desert and I've not had water to drink for so long that there's like blisters or sores even developing in my mouth. There's just, my lips are blistering and I don't know how to describe the way my tongue feels, but you don't realize how moisturized or wet your tongue is until it has no water in it at all. There's something about this. They're asking what all of this means to me. I'm saying, so in examining the scenes I've seen thus far, I really like the way the moisture sensation feels. It's cool, it's refreshing, and it makes me thirsty for cold water. This follow-up sort of scene, it really makes me feel like some past life association with basically running out of water in the middle of the desert is the only way I can describe it, is the reflection that's coming to me. So I'm just going to pause and then we'll see what comes next, okay? They're showing me a man, he's doing like that. He's got some sort of animal here. I'm just examining him. He's not really moving away from it. It looks like a horse to me, but he's not really moving away from it right now. He's just brushing his hands off, but he's still in the act of doing this. But he won't do it again. He won't walk away. He's just paused out in this motion, and that's all. And so I'm just waiting here. This is definitely a horse. It's got like a orangish brown. It's brown. I don't know how it's not red, but it's a brown colored fur. I mean, it's just, I don't know why he's not in motion. I don't know why he won't. He's clearly signaling that he's done here, but yet he won't stop what he's doing. He's got something on the bottom of his boot he's scraping off. There's definitely hay or things on the ground here. It's not really muddy. I just feel like there's clearly images here. There's clearly motivations, but yet there's no motivation at all. I'm wondering, what is the delay? What is this guy thinking about? Why is he not in motion away from this horse? How come it keeps stalling out right here? They're changing the image now. They're showing me a different scene. They literally are showing me a tongue sticking out. I don't know how to identify what's wrong with it exactly. It's just like, sometimes people do funny things with their tongue. Like they're thinking, they're like, they like stick it out. They're like, they're thinking or something. You don't really know why they're sticking it out, but they are. So this tongue is just like sticking out as though somebody, I just see the mouth and then a tongue just like literally fully sticking out like that. And then, but it's sort of like a silly way, like a mannerism for like, I'm in the act of drawing and I'm thinking at the same time and I have to stick my tongue out or something. And so they're showing me, they're sort of taking the tongue out and we're putting looking down the throat too. Instantly it was sort of like you get the wet towel on the rear and it's like ouch, but instead it slaps on the tongue really bad. It's like, ow, what was that all about? Why'd you have to take that thing and just slap it on my tongue? Come on, man. There's something like that going on here. Yeah, they keep doing it. It's like the doctor's got some crazy need to take like the stick and then just whack it straight down on the tongue, and it just keeps happening. I'm just here for you to look at my tongue, but you're hurting my tongue doing that. It's not funny. That's what I say to him. I'm surprised by how it just feels very slow, and I can't create motivation or inspiration for things to go more quickly. But they're showing me from this doctor's office scene sitting on the bench thing, and then the slapping on the tongue. There's an odd sort of white lined piece is sort of swirling up and around like this. And it also sort of like I'm pulling out like fabric, or, like a magician keeps pulling out all these sort of bound up pieces. It's something like that. Just like fabric's tied one after the other, and we're just like pulling it out of the mouth here. And so I'm pulling it out of your mouth, and it's white, and it's going around like this. As I pull it out, it's almost like energy, but it's also like a cloth piece. And now I'm reaching the end part, and there's something way down in there. I'm trying to pull it, it's just getting caught or stuck, so I need to see what this is about. They're not going to let me just yank it out. I got to do something here. It's like it's attached to a weird retainer. I'm easing it out of there. They're showing me something white in the throat. It's very small. It looks like a cauliflower or something. I'm telling him I'm examining ways that I can help that to diminish or be removed, but it's not coming to me yet. I can't just scoop it out of there. I can't just pull it out. I can't just evaporate it. I'm using love on it, so I'm just slowly examining a way to help reduce that. It's something in the way of swallowing too. I'm speaking words to heaven about this. I'm saying words in order to help release that or heal it. It's definitely creating an effective energetic vibration, but it hasn't altered the reflection just yet. There's other things showing themselves to me. It looks like a water slide going down the throat, but it looks like instead of water, it's just dry grass. It just keeps going down the chute kind of thing. It's not very enjoyable to swallow dried grass. It doesn't flow as easily as water, but yet it flows very quickly here. It's just got a strange effect to it. It just feels like lots of hay again. It's sort of associated with the horses. It's reminding me of that. And just seeing what is these dried grass blades going down the throat, and then they're just stocking up on the inside, like it's barreling up on the inside. So I'm just taking all of this dried grass out of you right now. So I'm examining what this might mean, and as I'm also taking it out, it's like you're being stuffed like a hay bale or something. There's something very odd about the reason why you have this issue. There is some energetic explanation, some sort of spiritual or past life, or some explanation for it that goes beyond just a medical explanation. There's really something else tied into this. It's going to take some time to manifest what that is, but it's clearly showing me some very strange scenes and sensations about what's causing this. So I'm just going to keep exploring, okay? And we're specifically focusing on, they're not focusing on the tinnitus just yet, just this tongue and throat scenario. And I'm doing work, I'm literally seeing two scenes. The scene with the man and the horse and all that sort of dried grass down there. And then this scene with just literally just looks like a slide, like a slip and slide where it got full of grass, but there was never any water on it to begin with. But the grass is just going down really, really fast, like it's on a conveyor belt. And it's just brushing down, and then as it goes down, it just keeps piling up and piling up with dried grass. It's like, well, you're not a bin for grass, so why is this happening? So I'm exploring this too. I'm creating a little tiny yellow orb of light, just a little tiny one. It's super bright though. I'm putting it inside of you in the center of where all this sort of dried grass is stocking up. There's an odd feeling in the stomach or the digestive region associated with this. It's sort of like, it just made a weird movement. This thing has a way of sort of dissolving or evaporating this dried grass. It's becoming less and less. Showing me different things. They're showing me that I am looking at you as though you're laying down on a table, and I'm seeing like an Asian fan opening up, and it's opening up sort of, it's kind of around the heart portal area, and there's like a perfect, like really pretty blue color. It's kind of like a sea blue. It's not like blue or dark blue or light blue. It's really pretty, and it's not teal either, but it's just sitting right up there, and then there's a fan over top of it. I'm starting to feel motivated and energized, which is really great. I'm ready to do this thing. And sometimes it gets a little stagnant in there, and I can't force it to go any faster than it will. So I just have to be patient with it. So this is pretty exciting. I'm going to focus. I'm spinning this fan really, really fast, and it's actually winding up something that's associated with the inside. It's literally sort of right at the crease where the rib cage, sort of the bones kind of spread out there. So it's a little bit below the heart, sort of above the belly button. It's sitting right there. I'm winding it up. It seems to be, it's something mechanical associated with it. And this little yellow ball is also somehow associated with it. It feels like I'm working at a mill or something. We're doing things to help move this grass. There's horses involved. And again, I'm running into one of those weird moments. I'm turning it, right? I'm it's done turning it, but yet the inspiration is to still turn it, even though it doesn't need to be turned anymore. Why are you still inspired to turn it? It doesn't need to be turned anymore. So there is a broken record action going on here. It's just like the guy who's trying to brush off his hands and walk away from the horse, and he can't. So it's just like I'm trying to stop the grass from going. Why is it not stopping? It's some sort of broken record, energetic repetition that I need to stop it and then alter its perspective of its identity or role. I am going to start at the beginning here. The man with the horse. I am stopping his action. I am helping him to move away from the horse as was intended. He's wearing overalls. He's wearing sort of like a button down, but it's all rolled up. The sleeves are rolled up. There's a dirtiness to him, but it's fine. It's understood. He's not a filthy man or anything. He's just been working outside. I am encouraging him to move away from the horse now. Sometimes he finds some reason to just stall out, like scraping something off his boot, and there was nothing to scrape off. Why are you not... What is holding you back? What is inspiring you to not feel like you can move on? And so I'm going to ask him this question. I'm saying, you're okay to move on now. You don't have to stay here with the horse, or... Don't you feel like it's time now? Some part of him is very frustrated. He wants to move on, but he doesn't know how. In the act of trying to move on, he gets overwhelmed by a real frustration, and then he doesn't know what else to do but to stand here and keep doing the same motion over and over again. I'm exploring the frustration. I'm helping to release it from his mind. It comes with a dark energy cloud. I'm disconnecting it from his mind now. They're showing me a pulley system associated with this sort of tinnitus, but this tongue and throat thing too. It's almost like a strange, action, reaction, creating this effect, this sort of ripple effect. But it comes from different energy reflections. He's letting go of this dark energy, but now it is another excuse to be distracted. He's watching it sort of leave like a balloon that is going up into the sky, and he's even waving bye to it. It's like, why are you continuing to remain distracted? That was necessary though, so that's part of the work here. Slow progress, but we're making progress. He's taking a big red apple out of his throat. He says, I don't need this anymore. You can have it. He says, okay. Does this belong to the horse? It's kind of strange because I just pulled it out of his throat, but it's like perfectly uneaten apple. It doesn't have slobber on it or anything. I'm just going to give it to the horse and see what happens. He finds another reason to feel distracted. He says, no, that apple's mine. You can't give it to the horse. So... he puts the apple in his pocket now. He's stubborn. Ask him what he's about, or what are your dreams? What do you want to accomplish in your life? He feels really happy I asked him that question. He's sitting down now, and he wants to tell me. It's fascinating because this entire time we've been talking, he's been slowly aging. And now he's very old. He was probably maybe late 30s or 40s. And now he's like a 90-year-old man. I mean, he's even wearing a ball cap, and it's not like it's straight build and it's old school. It's kind of like a little too high up on his head, and it looks kind of funny, but he's old and it's fine. It's just right. He does it because it gets too sweaty here. So he just wants it so it covers up the shade, he says. He just doesn't want it. He doesn't like the sweat. That's why he doesn't pull it all the way down like you youngsters. He's funny. He even likes to, he's got like a piece of straw or hay out of, I don't know what he's chewing on, but it's something like straw or hay, like a piece of hay or something, like a Huckleberry Finn style. It's just sort of like, it's like a man who has nothing else going on in his life except this part of it, like a farm with some horses and a routine that is just constantly repetitive, and nothing else to do, nothing else to think about, and no inspiration to do anything differently than this. And he feels comfortable in this zone with the horse here by his side. He doesn't feel comfortable walking away from this place. He's okay even letting time pass and nothing has changed in his entire life, only that he's gotten older now. But it's funny because I ask him what his purpose, what's his goal, what does he want to do with his life, and that is when he's most inspired to tell me. It's like, well, if you've had these passions and goals, why have you been doing just this? Is this the only thing you've wanted to do? So we're talking about this. Now he takes this apple out of his pocket and puts it in the palm of my hand. I take a bite of it. I'm chewing it. I am tasting the juices from the apple. I am delighting in the flavor. It's really super crisp and sweet. It's not bland at all. It's like, ooh, that's a good apple. It doesn't have any bruises on it. It's perfect. I'm enjoying it. We're having a conversation, although there's no words being said. I'm not even allowed to see what he looks like as he's talking to me. I feel like I now am the one sitting here contemplating my own direction or purpose in life. I now am wearing the hat, am wearing the overalls and the shirt. I'm eating this apple. This seems to be part of my life. I just think about this right now. I feel really exhausted. I just feel like, I don't know how to describe it. I feel old, so I feel tired because of my age is older, so I just don't feel like I have the get up and go. Something feels kind of saddening about the whole scene. The way that I feel about life or how I'm thinking, you don't have the spark of joy inside the thoughts that are going through the mind because everything has always been the same. So even kind of the flavor of the thoughts are not juicy or exciting. They're just bland, you know. They have no flavor. They have no thrill. There's nothing to delight in. In anything that there is to think about, there's nothing exciting at all to think about. But the apple tastes good, so that is exciting. And as I think, I continue to eat the apple. They show me this man eats apples and they make sort of like a juiciness kind of and so he'll lick the bottom part of his lip and just kind of lick down there. He just really likes juicy apples. I mean, this guy likes to eat apples. This is a regular occurrence for him. Horses like apples too. So it makes sense. He's standing up now. We are not one and the same. He's standing up. He's fixing his pants, which first were blue overalls, and now they've been washed and dried so many times they're totally faded out. The elastic isn't quite the same in it, so they're kind of hanging differently. He has them rolled up because he's a little bit shorter now, and he's just walking off. He's finally leaving the horse. I feel so excited. He's doing it. He's slow, and his back kind of is hunched over a little bit. His bones are a little creakier. It doesn't feel like he's Yeah, he's not a spring chicken. He can't, he's not got a hop in his step to move towards this house here. But he's walking there, one step at a time. He kind of holds his back a little bit. He doesn't walk with a cane, though, or anything like that. He's ready to move on now, he says. I've been there for a long time, he says. So I just want to come into this house and I just want to lay down on my bed and go to sleep. He goes up the stairs. This house is a nice farmhouse. And then he's going inside up some more stairs and he's going into a room and there's a nice quilt. I don't get the impression that there's any females. There's nobody else here but him. There's no wife or grandkids or anything. It's just him. He's laying down on the bed here. I mean, it feels like he's going to take his nap, but I don't think he's going to wake up from this one. He really, in his mind, in his expression, is saying, I'm tired. I've done enough thinking for one lifetime. I'm just going to sleep now. So it's what his behavior is. He takes some sips of some water. He's laying down. He's getting comfortable. He's coughing up a little bit of something from his throat. It's still sort of sunlight out, so the shades there's some light coming through the shades. I see there's this entity here. It kind of looks like the one from the beginning that touched me here. Just kind of from a shadow, so I can't really make out what he looks like, but he's here. There's no danger or concern at all. It's just how I'm seeing him. There's something odd about what's changing in this old man. I can't define how his face is sort of shifting and what's behind the eyes, and there's no soul leaving the body. There's no interaction between this entity and this man. I'm just watching the man's face is kind of in motion a little bit, and there's some sort of darker energy behind the eyes, so I'm just watching and seeing what's happening here. They're saying he is sleeping. I touch his head. I'm just ignoring this entity that's here. I'm literally on the bed. I just touch his head. It's not a very warm feeling that he experiences. It just feels kind of lonely, you know? He's an old man. He doesn't have anybody, and he's just had these horses. This one horse is all I've ever been able to see. It just feels kind of lonely, you know? He's feeling comfortable as he drifts off to sleep. He's just really, it's easy for him to fall asleep. He's sleeping really comfortably and he's snoring even. I'm doing something with this little yellow orb is in the center. It's in his body here. I'm sharing it with him. There's that odd corkscrew sort of thing going on here. I'm laying him on his back now. I am doing the turn thing with him as well. I am clicking a lever. I'm hearing grain pouring is the only way to describe it. There's something I'm removing from his head. There's some hardcore energy movement going on from this. I'm just experiencing it and waiting for the next thing. This means you're too experiencing this. There's literally the movement of one version of himself over here while another is sleeping cozily. It's as if we just removed some other version of his like body or his identity. This is the one that has the corkscrew stuff and all that going on with it. And there's sort of like a chute as well, like grain could pour out of it. And then this other one doesn't have anything at all going on. It's just an old man sleeping in a bed. We're doing something like moving one energy, like his soul or something, from this version with all the corkscrew stuff into this body. It feels a lot better. It feels a lot better. This other body is literally, it's like an old skin just shed. It's just sort of starting to just become part of the past, is the only way I could describe it. This other version, he feels younger already. He's even waking up from sleeping and noticing, wow, that was one powerful nap. I'm starting to feel better. I don't know how that's possible, but I actually feel 10 years younger, kind of thing. He's noticing he feels stronger and happier and more alive than he's used to. He's okay getting up right now and taking a drink of this water. He's setting it down even with a little bit of emphasis. He's standing up. He has much better posture right now. He feels like he's ready to get back down to business. He's like a totally different man. They're showing me a new scene. This guy has a business suit on, and he stands up straight, and he has sort of... I can't say that he's a man of authority. He would be like a hotel manager or something. So it's like, is he the president? No. Is he a hotel manager? Yes. Something of that, But where he is and what his role is, it's people look to him for answers and directions and that sort of thing. And he takes his job seriously, and he cares about the work that he does. He cares about making sure people are having a good time, or the people that are there enjoying themselves. Like he's important, and he cares about what he's doing too. And he's doing a button on his suit coat. It's almost like the... I don't know, like a serious French restaurant, and a guy that is seating you, and it's just like overly professional. It is like kind of refreshing too. It's like, wow, you're really good at seating people. Like I like that. This guy is really good at what he does, and it just really is noticeable. It's sort of like he is standing in a hotel, and he's just sort of checking the people that are walking in, making sure they're happy, looking in the other direction, making sure the guy playing the piano is doing his good job, people are smiling. That's kind of the effect of this. He really knows how to take care of people too, especially regulars. Like he's great at customer service. He seems to have a really good knack for sensing people's needs or their personalities, and how to communicate right with all people of all different kinds. People who are just, regulars, he knows how to treat them right. People who are new, he knows how to treat them right. People who have, just people of all different backgrounds. He just seems to know. But he really emphasizes making sure to appreciate the regular customers. And it's like a hotel. He's really got a knack for this. They keep showing me that. They keep showing me how he's got a nose for people and nose for what people need and that sort of thing. They keep showing me that his nose is a little bigger too. And he's just got a nose for this type of work. again, it's starting to turn into sort of a similar scene where it's like, this type of work is exciting. It's exciting. But now 20 years later, it's just, I don't know, it's like blah, you know? I mean, it's just sort of, it's been there. He's been there. He's done that. He's run the mill one too many times. He's, beat the dead horse kind of thing. It's like the flavor of the thoughts and the inspiration and the drive are just sort of really lacking, but yet no motivation to do anything else, to just say, you know what, I'm going to retire today. It's the most random thing I could do. I'm just going to retire, and then I'm going to just move, and I'm not going to take anything with me. I'm just going to walk away and just, something totally extraordinarily unpredictable and random in order to totally create a whole new savory thoughts and experiences in life that are just so, random and kind of exciting because it's so unpredictable. I mean, they're showing me him getting old. Not necessarily old in appearance, because this guy seems to hold his appearance for a while, but time has passed and he's getting sort of, the thrill ride is not there anymore, and he's still great, but he just doesn't care, he just really doesn't care so much. The heart is not singing in the role anymore. So the only way to describe it. I am going to talk to him and ask him what, are you going to just stay in this job? I'm having a conversation with him about what I'm seeing here. This is important. This is part of who and what you are. He too has a way of holding his tongue, is the only way to describe it. He does everything right, and he can hold his tongue too. And they're showing me this. They're showing me a gulp in the throat, and then also a need to hold the tongue at times when he doesn't want to. This guy needs, now they're helping me to see that this guy who's really good with people is actually internally freaking out. Like, he needs to go out in the middle of nowhere and scream for about 2 straight weeks. It's like this burning sensation to just erupt and just have a freak out, but never do it. That's also part of this burning sensation. I'm letting him have a freak out right now in the middle of this place. I'm helping him to understand that it's safe. You're not going to get fired. Just scream at the top of your lungs, spill wine on people, take the piano guy, throw him against, the floor, and then just play something weird on the piano, swing from the chandelier. Just whatever nutty thing you need to do to help get this out, please do it. He's showing me he is pulling the chandelier off of the ceiling and then just busting it against the ground. He's taking a table, he is lifting it up and then pushing it over. He doesn't need to do a lot. He's just starting to laugh now. He's like, I just needed to do that. It's like, that's as crazy as you're going to go. But he's laughing. He feels really good. It's funny. He said I needed that. Like, I know you're really straight and narrow, but it's your job isn't your life. I mean, you can laugh too. You can feel a little bit loose every now and then. It's good for you to be out of character because it's actually more up your alley to just be yourself, We're talking about him just not showing up tomorrow. As just talking to him about this. There's something good about this. They're showing me an alternate scene here. I don't know how to describe what I'm seeing. I have no idea how to describe this. basically the guy is not right. He's sort of sitting in a chair. There's somebody behind him, and it's as if they're cutting his, like he had maybe a small ponytail. I didn't even notice, but there's something that they're doing with hair in the back of his head. But he's got burn marks here on his shoulders, and his face is really hot, and his feet are in boiling hot water. I don't know what is going on here. I don't it's something's not right. It's like a torture scene, but I don't know if they gave him a drug and he can't move. He's unable to move his body. He's paralyzed and they're just torturing him and he can't scream or do anything. I'm really confused here, but he's obviously very hot. He's sweating. He's red here in the cheeks and then sort of here, and he's got burn marks here, and it's like his feet are in boiling hot water. And there's somebody behind him with like a shave type of knife piece. I'm examining this too. Maybe he's not. Maybe he's just, I don't know why he looks uncomfortable. That's why this doesn't look right. He looks terribly uncomfortable and miserable beyond belief, that he's not saying anything. I mean, maybe they're just giving him they just gave him a hot shave. I mean, maybe that's why his face is all red in his neck, because he just got the hot towel and then they just gave him the shave. But he looks terribly uncomfortable, and there's clearly, maybe those are just cuts into the top of his shoulders or something. There's 3 on both sides. I'm just slowing down the energy because it's sort of like overwhelming to see it. So I'm just slowing everything down so I can analyze it better. I am moving out what is like a boiling hot water for the feet. It's bubbling. It's really hot. It's extremely hot. Maybe he's able to tolerate it. It would definitely take some time to adjust the feet to get them into that hot water. Because that would just, it's sort of like, you don't realize how hot the tub is until you start sitting down and it's like, oh my gosh, that is too hot. But it's not hot on the hands, but, it takes time for feet to adjust and all that. And this is very hot. That's cooling things down. This is making it better. This is a positive improvement, moving this hot water out of the way. I don't know what this man is about behind him. He's got the guy in the chair, the guy who's sort of the upper management guy, is just sort of, he doesn't have a shirt on. He's just sweating. He looks very hot. But he's definitely doing better since I moved the hot water from his feet. But he's still sweating and he's got a horrible feeling in his stomach. He's just looking off at sort of the wall, sort of looking straight and then down a little bit. Like he's thinking about something. And it doesn't feel good, but it's not like grossing me out or anything. It's just thinking really hard about something. It's something that's not necessarily positive or happy. Gross. They're showing me something with a tooth that they're gonna pull out or something. I mean, the tooth, they're showing me they're showing the lip going up and they're moving a tooth. Again, he's not like screaming no. He's not feeling like, I mean, it's like this is a normal activity and it's very strange activity. There's a man that has gloves on that's examining the tooth that's kind of wiggling or decaying, but it doesn't look like it's dirty. It doesn't look dirty at all, but yet it's in movement. Oh, it was like a fake tooth or something. You're just putting another one in there. They're showing me he actually takes this from the guy, is just making sure he got some of these parts here. It's like he's getting ready, but I don't understand what these lines are. I'm inspired to do something else to change or alter the scene so it can tell me something more. So he's getting dressed, he's putting on his suit again. He's just doing it right now, and he's ready to go downstairs or whatever. He's sort of in a hotel room. I mean, it's like he has a very important event that he has to go to. I'm quite disappointed by how, the guy is not excited about life. I actually thought he was being tortured. That's how miserable he looks. But he won't say anything. He looked freaking weird to me. And then this weird tooth thing. There's something so, it's like he's self-torturing. I mean, it's not necessarily that he was in serious pain or anything, but the fact that he's not happy, the fact that he's not motivated to do anything different, I mean, it's kind of like self-torturing, you know? He's miserable. The guy is miserable. I don't even think he knows how miserable he is in this scene. He's not acknowledging it. He's just doing what he needs to do. He has an expectation he's got to meet. He's getting his nice suit back on. He's putting on his face. In that way, he's going to go be the man again. He's actually starting to get jolly in the fact that it's like when he's getting dressed to go into work, it's like he's putting on his behavior as well. He's putting on his behavior, he's putting on his clothes, but what is his heart is not quite balanced. His behavior is incredibly impressive for his role. He's like totally groomed to do this. He's awesome at this, but it's like he's lying to himself, you know? And we don't know how deep that lie goes because he's very good at acting happy. And the reality is he's not happy. He can't hide that from me. He's not happy. He's not happy at all. This sort of energy guy is showing up in here. I'm telling him, what do we do for him? I don't know what to do for this guy. This is associated with you. I gotta help you. And these scenes are kind of showing me some similar pattern, and there's something to this. He's talking about ringing in the head, too. It's sort of interesting the way he's telling me ringing in the head. It's like a bellhop or something, like bing, 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 bing. Hey, we need you. Bing, bing, bing. Hey, we need you. We need you. We need you. It's sort of like constant like ringing in the head, because in this sort of experience, it's like he lived at the hotel and run the hotel and did everything. And so he was constantly sort of, we need you. We need you. We need you. At first he was like, I'm groomed for this. I'm awesome at this. But now it's just like ringing in the head constantly. It's just, it won't shut up. It won't go away. I don't know. It never will end. It's always going to be like this. That's how it feels. It says this is a very important message for you about this. Also, to remind me again about what I said, holding his tongue and this burning need to just freak out. Because he's been this way in a routine for years. What's like 20 years right now. It's just, and he's freaking out on the inside, but he's not freaking out like he needs to heal his body and his emotional reflection and all of that. He needs to get it out. I'm saying I'm going to have him go on a date. I want him to meet, I want there to be a gorgeous woman come in this. It's like a past life healing I'm doing for you. A gorgeous woman is coming in now. She's wearing a beautiful red dress. Her hair is just so pretty. She's just naturally beautiful. And she sees him. And she doesn't move her gaze away from him. But now she does. And he notices. because he has a nose for things, right? She sort of slipped out of her shoe a little bit, and now she is getting back in it. She giggles a little bit and then looks at him again. She is there to meet some people. There's some sort of event. He is happy to think about some possibility. I'm planting a seed. It's appropriate. That's interesting. They're showing me that this man does not ever meet or fall in love, nor does this cycle ever really go away. I'm changing the truth of the matter by creating an alternate opposing energy reflection to help heal or balance this. I'm showing time having passed, and they had a very lovely interaction that evening, and it is turned into many more interactions. And he actually finds himself away from the hotel so he can enjoy time with her. They do other things together, some romantic things together. He wants to show her some places, and he wants to take her to some fine restaurants. He can afford a nice vehicle. It feels better. There's better balance to him now. It feels a lot better. I'm telling you, they're helping me to understand. I still don't know what the markings are here, but that was what it was. It had to do with a really hot towel on the face, and that was a regular experience for him because he liked to have a clean shave. He liked to be very clean cut and appropriate face forward, face. And so it's showing me that has to do with a lot of heat here, and that was a regular activity. And the feet in the really hot water, also a regular activity. And sweating because of all of the heat from the face, and then the feet too. It's almost a weird obsession with this sort of razor thing. I mean, that's why he needs some love or romance to get him away from that regular activity. I'm showing him transforming into this sort of older man that also felt very lonely too. It just felt like his life never really changed or shifted from this to anything else. I'm showing that these two marry and that he leaves the hotel and he buys a beautiful ranch or farm where he and his love she loves horses, and he wanted to give that experience to her. She's an old woman, and so she comes to bed with him and they fall asleep. They take naps together. They are still in love after all of these years. He feels like that whatever that life was, whatever that experience was a long time ago. And it's not what my life is about right now. I don't even know anything about all those scenes related to horses and thinking, with nobody else here to enjoy it with me. He has an apple orchard as well. They both liked apples. She bakes apple pie. We are intertwining two past lifetimes together. We're 2 lifetimes with men that were bachelors, basically, without anything changing. And we're intertwining them together, and then adding the recipe of what was needed in both of those lifetimes in order to create balance or newness of thoughts, newness of inspirations, a new journey, a new development for the soul to experience, sharing life with another. There's a lot to this. This is healing. This is massively healing. It's very interesting to me. I'm just slowing down a little bit more. I'm able to see joy from both men, joy from both of their hearts, and joy to share their unique personalities, their unique thoughts, their unique dreams with another human being who loves them, who loves to know what their dreams are. It alters their pattern of behavior that inspired this type of burning tongue, throat, and ringing in the head. The energy is so positive right now. I'm just going to close my eyes and stay with it because that means you're feeling it now too. You're showing me a strange picture here. I do not know how to describe it. It's like this older man is, it's like he's in a place is sort of guzzling something out of, it looks like lighter fluid or something. He's just guzzling it into his mouth. And the way he's drinking is like, now, 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 and it's all pouring down him as well. It's really strange. He's pouring it on his head and he's sort of in a place. Something really loony about the behavior. I'm just taking this container away from him. I'm asking him, what are you drinking? What is this? Are you drinking gasoline? What are you doing? He's showing me a big empty barn. He's showing me how he feels big and empty. He takes a match and then he's showing me that it is lit now. There's a horse looking into the barn. The horse is really patient and quiet and kind of... It's really interesting because the horse too has a lot of personality without saying anything at all. And it's quiet and it's humble and it's just watching and it's like a companion that doesn't ask for much at all. It's there. He is putting the match on his tongue, and now he's going to set fire to himself. But when he puts it to his tongue, he shows me that the match burns out and does not light him on fire. He shows me drenched in tears. He's begging for something in his mouth to make it go away. I'm asking heaven, what can we share with him to help him feel better? They're showing me that this flame is coming out of the mouth like a dragon. And it's like they're pulling out the flame. And it's sort of coming out. And then it's, again, like I was seeing with that odd, we're just pulling. And then it was just sort of going around like that. This flame is coming like pulling out. And then it's going around in a circle like that. They're showing me that this flame actually is a heavy weight. Feels like it's weighing you down. Because even though it's fire, it feels like he's trying to carry like 1,000 tons of weight in like a metal pole that looks like flame. He shows me that his mouth is all burnt out and that he expects it to like ash away, and it never will. It never ashes away. He can't get it to go away, he keeps saying. I'm inspired to bring this female sort of, this love that had enchanted these other two men. I'm just going to have her give him a kiss. I just want to see what happens. See if love is enough. It is doing some effective work, but so she's kissing him, and then it's sort of like a dry piece of bark is coming out now of his mouth. I'm helping him to stabilize and to see that his mouth is not on fire and that he's got plenty of mouth and a tongue to kiss this attractive lady. It is helping. It's putting the coals out that are in the throat. There's some sort of liquid that is very cold to offset it, that she's breathing into his mouth. It's not necessarily, it's very cold, but it's actually the right balance so he doesn't feel, it's creating balance. So what is so hot and then so cold and now is the right temperature. It's not discomforting to experience this. There's some other, like something else coming out of the mouth. It looks like like really, really long grass blades. Lots and lots of them been bound together. Thought maybe it was a bouquet, but it's grass blades. There seems to be more that they want to share, but I know we're getting low on time here. Let's just see what else I can gather really quick, okay? I'm asking him about this sort of yellow orb piece that I was seeing. It was to dissolve that hay, that sort of grass away. It was specifically associated with those reflections that have to do with just dry grass and then having to do with the farm work. Or there was something I had said, it's as if that one's cleared out, but I just want to keep examining it. There's nothing, they want me to, if I'm going to do anything else, they want me to do something differently. So let's see what else they want to share. They want me to go back to the scene with what I described was gasoline going all over him. They want me to examine this again. I'm saying that again, when he puts the match to his tongue, it goes out, doesn't burn him. He's drinking something he wasn't meant to, and it did burn him. The drink alone was burning him, like acid. So I'm telling him I'm not understanding. Did this really happen? They're indicating again that the match did not light him on fire because it was not gasoline that he was consuming. It was something that had burned his mouth very badly in a tragic accident or something of that kind. Self done to self or on accident, they're not saying yes or no to that. They're just saying he consumed something that wasn't gasoline that burned his throat and mouth very badly. And it would not go away, and it was extremely painful. They're saying, yes, this did happen in a past life. They're saying that helps, that does help to create. I'm telling you, that alone created a lot of change to this scene. They're saying it's not just about love that helps to heal this, and helping other parts of the reflection experience loving interactions to kind of help release the ringing thoughts. They're saying there's more to it because there was some soul exploration or study of different kinds of life experiences or even death experiences. It seems like this would have inspired death. It's like he consumed acid. I don't want to end it on that note. What else can we say? They're wanting to go back to the scene where he's eating a really yummy, juicy apple, and that too is acidic, is it not? I say yes. But that is juicy and yummy acid flavors. It isn't the kind like a chemical. It was like a chemical that he'd put in his mouth. They're wanting me to stop on that and allow your infinite reflection to digest the wisdom that I've shared. There's something about this. Sometimes the human mind, it has to come up with answers and definitions to everything. But what we know as human beings and what the spirit will understand about all of this is going to be a lot more than I could describe. They're saying this is enough. They keep saying this is enough. So that's all I can share with you for right now. So definitely let me know how you're doing and how this resonates with you, okay? And thank you too for your willingness to share this openly on YouTube so everybody else can get an understanding of spiritual healing and your experience and what your soul has to share with us. So that's all I have to share for this. And for those watching, if you're interested in spiritual healing or psychic reading, with me, you may do so by visiting my website at abbynormalswisdomquest.com. Thank you for watching.